Lack of friends doesn't just happen by chance. It's not always about personality, awkwardness, or bad timing. Sometimes it's a symptom, a red flag waving in silence, pointing to something much deeper, much older, and much more painful than we dare admit. Sometimes it means that your soul has been through wars no one saw, that you learned, far too young, that people are not always what they seem, that love often comes with conditions, that praise is earned by performance, that attention must be bought with usefulness. In a world where love is supposed to be unconditional, many grow up learning the opposite. They learn that love is transactional, that warmth is given when you're obedient, that smiles come when you please others, that affection is earned by sacrifice, and that to keep people close, you must forget yourself. And so it begins. You become good, helpful, reliable, available, the one everyone can count on, the fixer, the comforter, the silent shoulder to cry on. You bend yourself to fit the roles others need. You hide your sadness, numb your frustration, bite your tongue. You sacrifice your needs, postpone your dreams, bury your voice, all in the hope that someone will choose to stay. But deep inside, you're alone. Deep inside, you know something is wrong, because no one asks how you are. No one listens when you cry. No one shows up when you break. You are everyone's support system, yet you have no support of your own. You become invisible in plain sight, seen only when you are needed, valued only for what you give, never for who you are. This is not friendship. This is not connection. This is servitude wearing a smile. And when you try to stop, when you say no, or take a step back, or ask for something in return, you see the truth. The ones you called friends disappear. The people you once gave your soul to withdraw. Their love evaporates like steam, revealing the truth. They weren't friends, they were users. They were passengers in your life only as long as you fueled the ride. And now, here you are, alone, exhausted, hollow. You look back and realize how many years you spent trying to belong, trying to matter, trying to be enough. You gave your youth, your energy, your money, your time. You were there for birthdays, breakups, emergencies, emotional crises. You were the foundation they built their lives on. But when you needed them, when you needed someone to lean on, there was no one. Not a call, not a visit, not a voice, just silence. And it cuts deeper than any knife. Because now you're older, you've seen too much. Your eyes are tired from crying. Your heart is heavy from disappointment. You've stopped reaching out. You've stopped hoping. You've stopped trusting. You've accepted the emptiness like a bitter roommate. Always present, always cold. You start to believe you were the problem. You weren't charismatic enough, weren't fun enough, weren't interesting or attractive or popular enough. Maybe if you were different, louder, quieter, smarter, thinner, richer, they would have stayed. But here's the truth. Most never say. You were never the problem. The real problem is that no one ever taught you to value yourself. You were trained to be needed, not loved. And because of that, you attracted people who saw your light and mistook it for fuel. People who saw your kindness as currency. People who took your generosity as weakness. You were a giver in a world of takers, and now you are drained. Spiritually, emotionally, physically. But here's where everything can change. This loneliness, this silence, this emptiness you feel, it's not the end. It's the beginning. Because in this space, something else begins to grow. Awareness. Awareness that you've been living someone else's life, that your identity has been shaped by the expectations of others, that your dreams were put on hold to keep everyone else comfortable, that your entire life has been a response, not a creation. And now you have a choice A terrifying, liberating, powerful choice to stop, to look within, to reclaim what was stolen. Ask yourself, who am I when no one is watching? What do I want when no one is demanding? What would I build if no one else's opinion mattered? This is not just about making friends. This is about becoming whole. It begins by saying no, by setting boundaries, by disappointing people who benefited from your silence, by letting go of connections that only drained you, by refusing to be used, even if it means walking alone for a while. It means finding your voice again, not the polite version, not the agreeable mask, but your true voice, the one that says, I matter, I exist, I will not shrink to fit your comfort. It means rebuilding your self-worth from scratch, not based on approval, not based on productivity, not based on how useful you are to others, but based on the truth that you are valuable just because you exist. It means setting your eyes on your dreams again, those buried, neglected visions that once made your heart race. It means chasing them, with fear, with uncertainty, but with courage. Start small. One act a day, one boundary, one bold decision, one honest conversation, one moment of self-respect. And slowly, you will begin to change. You'll feel the return of something ancient and sacred, yourself. Not the version others shaped, not the polite, trimmed down, watered down version of you that was molded to fit expectations, to make others comfortable, to win acceptance in rooms that never deserved your presence. No, not that version, but the real you. The one that existed before the world told you who you had to be. The one buried under shame, silence, and survival. The one that was quieted every time you were told to be good, to be strong, to stop being dramatic, to keep the peace. That you is not gone. That you is still breathing, still waiting, still alive beneath the ruins of other people's projections. And as you begin to choose yourself, not out of selfishness, but out of deep, sacred necessity, you will begin to feel something strange, something unfamiliar at first. Joy. Not the fleeting kind that comes from praise or validation, not the addicting high of being needed, but a quiet, stable, internal joy. The kind that emerges when you wake up and do something simply because it matters to you. The kind that comes from honoring your soul instead of silencing it. The kind that says, I am enough, even when no one's watching. You will begin to taste the sweetness of freedom, of waking up without dread, of walking without a mask, of speaking without calculating the response, of saying no and not feeling guilt choke your throat, of resting without having to earn it. And when you walk alone, because yes, at first you will, it will feel terrifying. It will feel empty. You'll question everything. You'll long for the comfort of old patterns, even the ones that broke you. You'll miss people who hurt you, because pain was familiar and familiarity felt safe. But you will keep walking, and step by step, something will shift. You will notice the quiet no longer feels lonely. It feels peaceful. It feels like home, because you are no longer waiting to be chosen. You are no longer chasing love like a starving beggar. You are no longer negotiating your worth in silent desperation. You are no longer trading pieces of your soul just to be included. You will feel full, not because others are pouring into you, but because you have stopped leaking yourself away. You are tending to your own wounds. You are mothering your own heart. You are holding space for your own healing. You have become your own source. And in that sacred solitude, you'll find strength you didn't know existed. You'll look back and weep, not just for the pain, but for the power it woke in you. You'll understand that every betrayal was a redirection. Every abandonment was a protection. Every silence was a gift, because it forced you to meet yourself, to stand in your own truth, to rise in your own light, and something miraculous will happen. Without chasing, without begging, without bending, the right people will begin to appear. Not all at once, not with fanfare, but quietly, gently, authentically. People who see your wholeness, not your utility. Who respect your boundaries, not resent them. Who give, not because they want something back, but because giving is their language of love. People who ask how you are and truly want to know. People who stay, not out of need, but out of choice. The ones who won't flinch at your depth, who won't run from your truth, who won't ask you to shrink to fit their insecurities, who love you not for what you do, but for who you are. But even if they never come, even if the world remains quiet, you will no longer be afraid, because you have become your own friend, the one who never leaves, the one who listens, the one who sees behind your eyes and says, I'm still here. You've become your own home. Not just a place to survive, but a place to belong, a place to rest, a place to return to again and again, without judgment. You've become your own sanctuary, sacred, safe, unshakable, no longer built on others' opinions or fleeting relationships, but on truth, on healing, on self-respect. And when the end of your life comes, as it inevitably will, quietly or suddenly, in a hospital bed, or in your sleep, or under a quiet sky, you will not tremble with regret. You will not mourn what could have been, because you will know, with a calm, fierce, undying certainty, you woke up, you chose yourself, you healed the wounds no one apologized for, you forgave the people who never said sorry, you walked away from what broke you, even when it hurt, you broke the cycle, you lived fully, you became real, and that is a life that no one can take from you. That is a life that cannot be faked, borrowed, or bought. That is a life that echoes into eternity. Not loud, not flashy, but honest, whole, true. That is a life worth living.